This is Robert Demers for Conman here at the Fantasia International Film Festival. I'm here with Richie Mehta, the writer and director of the movie I'll Fall You Down, which is playing here at the festival. How are you doing today, sir?
Very well, thank you.
How have you been enjoying Montreal so far?
Good, I just got in a few hours ago, so it's been nice interviews and getting a feel of the festival.
Can you please tell our audience a little bit about the film?
Sure, I'll Fall You Down is a drama with a little bit of sci-fi in it, a little bit of thriller in it, about a family and a father who goes on a business trip in the very beginning and never comes home. And his wife and kid who are kind of left reeling over what happened and why, and did he disappear? Was he kidnapped? Was he killed? What happened? And it just kind of leads into a spiral. It spirals into a series of events that basically the family collapses and falls apart. And then years later, the son, who's not grown up, basically figures out A, what happened to the father, and B, how he can fix everything, kind of put it back together. So it's kind of it's a family drama wrapped up with all these other things.
And what inspired you to write this film?
A lot of things inspired me. There was incidents in my own childhood that with my own parents, as well as when I started going to film school and just kind of training more. There were certain films I saw that inspired me, especially science fiction projects. But more so it was my own life experience of relationships I've had, my views on the world. There's a lot of idealism in the film that's challenged. I'm a pretty idealistic person, and does that idealism have a place in the world? So that's kind of a lot of what I'm addressing. Does it even make sense? So it kind of evolved. I had in my head a very strong or very specific beginning, a very specific ending. I couldn't figure out how to meld those two, so that's where the sci-fi element comes in to actually bridge it together.
The film deals with wormholes and time travel. How accurate is the science in the science fiction?
Well, according to the physics consultants we had after I wrote the script, who just kind of quality checked it, they say that if this is plausible, everything that I've written and everything that the actors have said is accurate. So in terms of how we laid it out there, how we presented it, I think it's as accurate as we could have made it, and nothing was half-assed. I did my very best on the research. But obviously we're still dealing with premises and ideas that are, science fiction.
When you began directing the film, what was your approach?
There's so many different aspects to directing. So the first aspect was obviously the casting, which took a long time. It took a long time to get the right people, the right casting director attached, and then after that, the right actors attached, which didn't take that long. In fact, it was just very pointed who we went to and why. There's a very specific design to the film, visually, which took a while to wrap my head around with an amazing cinematographer. There's very strict logistics and resources. It was a low budget film, so we had to plan everything out A to Z, in terms of where the camera went and how we approached each scene. And the music had a very very specific intent, and the composer Andrew Lockington had his views, which really were in line with my own views, and a lot of it was really methodical.
It seems like the production was really a labor of love. Were there any memorable moments during the production?
It's hard to say. Yes, there were definitely memorable moments, but it was a really difficult time because it was so. Again, we needed more time, and I'm not even saying we were rushed, because the film unfolds in a very patient manner, and so it wasn't a question of we were running and gunning. We took our time with the scenes. At the same time, there was immense pressure that we couldn't. We didn't have time for an extra day of shooting. We didn't have time to go over. So I was very mindful of what we were filming, and I've said this before, my memory of the experience is kind of what you see on screen.
Well, thank you very much for talking with us. I'm looking forward myself to attending the screening coming up soon, and I hope you enjoy your rest of your time here in Montreal.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
I need you to be open to the craziest possibilities. Things you dreamed of as a child.
Hey, it's me. Haven't heard from you since yesterday.
The last time anyone spoke to him was my father in Princeton. You're the police. Aren't you supposed to be doing something?
You have a gift, Errol. More so than your father, even.
My father?
Do you ever think about your dad?
I don't remember what he looked like. You know, just photographs and stuff.
I believe he found a way to move back on that track.
How would this be possible?
He stabilized a traversable wormhole and traveled through it.
Welcome to Jersey.
You really believe this?
Yes. The more attachments you make here, the harder this will all be.
Stop working on this.
I don't know if I can. I know, it's crazy. Everything will be different.
Every day I'm afraid this will all disappear because you'll succeed.
I want a clean slate.
Nobody has a clean slate.
Because nobody gets the chance to have one. Grace, my father left unnaturally. It had ripple effects.
That we're dealing
What
with.
difference does it make? He's gone. I'm gonna make sure this doesn't happen to us again.
Ready?
Ready.